And when you gonna submit this, or do I get to see it or no?
If you give us your email address, we can
Yes,
send
we
it.
can
Okay.
send it.
So, first question is, what do you think has gotten us to this state of chaos in America today?
Well, that's the premise that you just stated as state of chaos. That's an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It may not represent everybody's opinion. It may
Yeah.
not represent mine. It may not represent other people. But that's a statement that we need to start establishing. That is the premise of your question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So just for the viewer to understand,
Yes.
um, you're initially stating that as one-sided. I'm not saying that.
That there's chaos. Yes.
Okay.
That is an opinion. Yep.
Right. My opinion is, yes, there's some chaos. There's there are some areas that are not chaos. Um, whether it's chaos that can be managed or controlled, yes, definitely. People need to turn the notch down a little bit, be more calm, cool, and be more thoughtful of other people, be more considerate in public places. I can give you a lot of examples when I'm in public places. There's a lot of disrespectful. That's how America is heading to. We don't want that. I mean, I wasn't born here, but I came here at a very young age, and this is my country. And if anybody prefer otherwise and think it's better somewhere else, go ahead and leave. Leave the people here who are responsible and want to have a good future for their children. Work on it, but don't tear it down. Don't burn it down. Don't go tear down the neighborhood and also call it. Always look at somebody else as their fault, not reflect upon yourself first. I also believe in brand building. Not as you see, I'm Asian, an Asian American, but as brand building, you can always count on that. That if when someone else think of your race, they will say, "Oh, that's so and so." It may sound very collective and stereotype, but it also represents the majority opinion of that race. But if you don't build on that, then people will continue to believe the false negative of your ethnicity or group. So it is important that people will respect, but we also need to build on that brand so that people will respect.
So how do we go about doing that?
Work upon yourself. Work yourself up. There are so many opportunities here. That America is a land of opportunity. There is no one who can be deprived of their race, ethnicity, but you have to do your part. You have to work on it. I worked until I get my PhD. And that's not just by just going to school and get that. You got to spend hours study and get that degree. Work on it. Don't be a statistic of the chances that whether you're black, white, yellow, and when the news come up, they always insinuating that the probability is that one race is committing that crime. We don't want that. I mean that wholeheartedly on any race.
Mm-hmm.
I have kids, and I make sure that they understand that. I went through that. I went through an area of racial discrimination. I grew up in a small town. Everything has their perspective, and the perspective of other people may not be as well regarded and well respected of your interests.
So any thoughts on Black Lives Matter? What it means? What
Well,
you've seen?
what it means is there are a lot of innocent people get treated wrong. There definitely, let me say this, there are definitely good and bad people in any race. There's Asian gangster. In any community, there's good and bad people, but individually, that's the most important thing you need to pay attention to. Any one-on-one, one-to-one relationship. Don't be collective. I walk on the street and I was just being courteous that say, hey, ma'am, your hand's wet, don't fling it around. She continued to fling it, and I'm not going to mention race, but that's a kind of public respect that people need to have for themselves. You know it's wrong, don't do it. But if someone do it and just make you feel, by saying it, make you upset, and then you continue to do it, and then you come right around and don't reflect back that upon yourself, and on the other side of your mouth you say nice things, or you say, oh, I'm doing all the things. No, for me, I'm not going to be just talking about it. I'm going to be the change of agent. I'm going to do something about it. If people around me talking the wrong way, I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to stand there and tell them that no, that's not the right thing to say or even think about it.
So that's your commitment to the cause, is that you speak up
Absolutely.
when you see?
Absolutely. Being today at the level we are, walking away and ignore that is not a choice anymore. We have to confront it, say it, tell it, practice it, live it, breathe it.
So why do you think historically the Asian community has been more quiet about racism in America?
Well, by culture, Asian is more passive. Also, most of them believe in, like I said earlier, spend time on education, spend time on building up your brand, and let the public judge that. But if you have time to go around and burn down the neighborhood or start riot, then you should have time to do the positive thing. I taught in college, and there are students who came in for the first time, came out of jail. I helped them with resume. The very first line they have is just, I didn't have any experience. I just came out of jail. And his dad came into my school, my office, looking for him, and asked, where's my son? I said, I don't know where Rodney is. Well, Rodney owed me his financial aid check. I said, well, why is that, sir? Because when he was in jail, I was watching his kid, my grandkid. Rodney went enrolled in college for half semester to get the financial aid check and left. I offer him to pick him up and remind him when school starts and all that. Kevin, I don't have an address for you to contact me. Well, tell me which corner you want me to pick you up. I moved from place to place. Well, let me call you where you are. I'll come pick you up. I don't have any more minutes on my cell phone. That's the kind of story that the news don't say, don't tell, don't report.
Yeah.
I hope you're recording all this.
Yeah.
Back to your original question. Why has the Asian community been quiet? Well, Asian community also subject to racial and discrimination as well. But proportionally, because Asian community here, especially in Atlanta, is smaller than black community, therefore the number does not seem as high. But just look on the news. There's Asians who commit crime every day, just like any other race. My parents told me, one thing that no one can take away from you when my parents immigrated to the United States, education. They moved from North to South Vietnam and came over here. They start over twice. But they gave me an opportunity to study for education, and they will not. And I remember forever. No one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
Not government, not enemy, not anybody.
So the solution,
Is higher education. The more you know, the better you are, and then that will also rub off on other people. And then it's also build up your brand, and then not just individually, but also your ethnicity, your group, your community. Everybody's around you will respect that.